So I just feel that it's kind of my duty to give back to some of these people.
You know, the Christmas tree sale is just a labor of love for me and for so many adults.
Sometimes heartbreaking, sometimes gratifying.
I'm retired as of a year ago, so I have the time, I have the interest, and particularly on racial reconciliation, I have the passion. But as to how we're going to help Charlotte overcome some of its fundamental problems, it's going to have to be on interpersonal contact, on personal relationships, on learning to trust one another, whether it's across race, across religion, and ethnic groups.
The first time I built a house for a woman named Gina and her family. It was great to work alongside them as they built their house with us. And then last summer I went, and she had had a baby and married. But it was cool to see that she had it was cool to see how her life had changed as our lives had changed, yet we still came together, recognized each other, and we got to share a meal together one day, which was pretty cool.
We're taking that love of Christ outside of these walls, and I think that's the biggest thing we've tried to expose them to through service opportunities is that the church is much bigger than just the church.
You work with the Mexican people there in Reynosa who have absolutely nothing. They have nothing, but they give everything they have to us. And we go to serve, yet we end up being the ones that are served as well. My children, you know, when they get to be teenagers, will I still be a youth ministry volunteer? I don't know, because you want to give them space and let them have maybe an adult that they feel comfortable talking to that's not their parent.
So I joined the church shortly after we got married, and then having our oldest son, who's now 5, definitely I became more involved just in the children's ministries and Vacation Bible School. This was my 2nd year volunteering, and I was able to teach his class this year, and that was a lot of fun. Now my 3-year-old is requesting that I be his teacher next year. I just have really fond memories of, as a child, going to Vacation Bible School and my mom being a teacher there. So that was just always really important to me. And my kids come to Sunday school every Sunday, which they love, but I just feel like that every single day, day in and day out, they would just learn a lot and hopefully have the fond memories that I had from growing up. And so I emailed Barbara and just asked if she would like to do it, and maybe if some of her friends would like to do it too, and it's been really fun.
Well, Lindsay made me aware year before last, that they were in a little bit of a pickle in terms of teachers, and so I thought, well, why not? And so I dusted myself off and came back, and it was so much fun. I just loved it, and I plan to keep going as long as they want me to. I enjoyed being with the children, just reconnecting with that part of the church, meeting the staff members that I had not met before because I had been away from the children's department. It's really, it's been just an amazing sort of rebirth to be able to be part of the children's program again at the church with Jack and T and Lindsay and Andy. It's just been such a treat for Tom and me to have that opportunity.
If you're a part of this church, this congregation, it's a huge congregation and it's easy to get lost. The best way to feel like you're a part of this church is to get involved in something. And I would say overcome your fear or your trepidation or whatever it is that you're facing that prevents you from doing it. So it really only costs you time, and you get so much more. So I would just say just go and do it.
I've been volunteering mostly from middle school to high school, and I've loved every minute of it.
Being a new mom with young children, it's kind of hard to have extra time to give, to volunteer, and so for me it was a really good foot in the door. I would say just, I mean, as simple as just do it.
I'm kind of sad for the person who's maybe been a member of this church and knows about the wonderful things we do, but really their level of participation is just an hour or two on a Sunday morning. Like, again, there are so many other ways to plug in locally or regionally or internationally, and those aren't just things that to make you feel better. That's a side benefit, but it's to grow your faith. It's to deepen your relationship with Christ and to really live it rather than just talk about it.
I have valued so much the Vacation Bible School experience on so many levels, and one level is just feeling like I've met a group of young women in the church that I probably would never have connected with otherwise, and it gives me such a great feeling about the future of our church because they are so dynamic. Lindsay among them, just so smart, so talented, and so willing to give of their time, and it makes me have just a real sense of comfort and hope about our church going forward.
We can do a lot, and we need to do a lot more than simply come on Sunday morning, enjoy a good sermon and some good music. We have a greater obligation, and that's what the Christian faith is all about.